Hey guys, welcome back. So this is basically part 2 of our quick little series introducing to new people a basic kind of building blocks for money management. And most of you, as we said in the last video, if you haven't watched the last video, you need to watch that video. All right? It's called Even Money Bets. Basic ladder verse martingale double up. Okay? It should be right before this one. So we showed you in that video the difference between a basic ladder when you lose going up a unit and some type of a double up like a martingale like this, and that this is costing you $1,270 just losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 losses in a row, which can happen. You would be at a $1,270 bet. 7 losses in a row on a basic ladder was only $280. Okay? And then using the ladder in a common sense way of being able to, let's say you got here, like we did in the first video, to a 7-unit bet, and then we won. We could go down 1 step in the ladder to a 6-unit bet, and then 1 step to a 5 if we won, and to a 4. Or, to protect our bankroll, we could slow up the entire process because it's in our control. It's in your control. If this is a big number for you, if you started with a $10 or a 1-unit bet, and now you're at a 7-unit bet, and that's getting to the nosebleeds for you, when you won, you didn't need to go back 1 step in the ladder, down 1 step. You could have slowed the process by going back to the 4-unit bet. And what we did in the first video was go all the way back down, I think, to the 3-unit bet. Okay? You go up and down the ladder. It's not written in stone that you have to go all the way up and then 1 step down, 1 step down. When you're comfortable or you want to protect your bankroll, you can take 2 steps down, 3 steps down. Okay, so what I'm going to show you today is the next evolution in the ladder type approach. So the first thing we need to do, this is the new website, Casino Income Academy. On the first page that I showed you before on the home page, there's a lot of buttons that say enroll free. You're going to want to enroll free for more private information and updates and free strategies and to get yourself the building blocks to keep rolling forward to building eventually a business using casino income as an asset class. That's what we do. Either on cruise ships, on brick and mortar casinos, or online. Okay? I had an email a couple of days ago from one of our followers that took a small bankroll, I think it was between $500 to $1,000, and using our tight money management and very tight profit targets, a 0.5% of your bankroll to 1%, and now has a $40,000 bankroll. Okay? But it's got to start with the basic building blocks. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you this video is going to be much quicker than the last one. I want to introduce the topic, but I want you to know that if you go to Free Education tab on the website after enrolling, go to the Free Education, click on this Strategy and Money Management tab, wait for everything to load, and here is this video called Casino Super Ladder Money Management right here. This is going to go in depth to what I'm explaining to you. Okay? This video goes more in depth. The second thing I'm going to introduce you to is something that we created months and months ago that is not exactly a straight ladder. But I'm going to show it to you in this video and introduce it to you to show you another way, a visual way that we've created that is completely something that we created in-house called the Access Money Management concept. Just to give you the next step and thought process of another interesting concept for controlling the volatility. I'm not saying this one or this one is the holy grail. Let me say it again. We have volumes of money management that we test to determine what works best with that specific game strategy. But you need to start having your brain working the correct way. So this is what I'm introducing. I showed you what a martingale is and what a nightmare it is. I showed you, where is that? Hold on one second, guys. There we go. And I showed you the basic ladder concept and how much better it is for your volatility and the size of your bankroll. So now I'm going to take it to the next step and show you one of the variations and how flexible it can be. So we refer to this type of concept as the super ladder. And that video goes in detail about the super ladder. I'm going to show it to you quick. And you know what I'll do? And you'll have a link in the video in the description to the website, obviously, so you can enroll for free, and then you can watch those videos on the free education side, okay? So here we go. Super ladder. The regular ladder was only going up 1 unit, and it was coming down whenever you decided to come down, right? I'm going to show you another concept. Now, first, I have to introduce the concept of a profit target. One of the biggest mistakes, probably the biggest mistake, I'm going to say number one, is the guy that walks in the casino, which is 99.9% of everybody, and has no concept of what he's looking to accomplish. There's absolutely no business plan. There's no game plan. There's nothing. If you showed up and you were the football coach for the Dolphins or the Dallas Cowboys on a Sunday afternoon and you were coaching the team and you were the offensive play caller, you would not show up to the game and try to figure it out as you went along. And that's why people stay in the casino too long, bet for too long, don't capture their profits, and walk away. So for purposes of this video, I'm going to tell you that we normally have very conservative profit targets. But there's a lot more discussion about how we figure out what the profit target is. That's for another video. Because we don't make it up like most people do. We don't make it up that we want to make this. No, we know exactly what that strategy on average can make within a reasonable time frame without putting extra stress and more time on the clock of us putting our money to risk. So we'll have another video on that. So for our purposes, let's just say that we were looking to make 5 units. 3 to 5, 3 to 6 units is kind of an average for us. That's like a sweet spot. So let's just say 5, okay? And now I'm going to explain to you why I'm bringing that up. The super ladder gives a little more juice than the original basic ladder. Is there a little bit more risk? Maybe. But it's balanced with the fact of getting in and getting out quicker. So if you like the concept of a super ladder after testing it, you have to understand that the reason for doing it is to get off the table faster, but yet not do a martingale, a double up. Okay? Now, the use of a super ladder approach is best with even money bets, or close to it, and a bet strategy or bet selection that has a pretty good win rate. If your win rate is decent, then this is one of the money management components that makes the that is something for you to consider for your toolbox. Not for every bet strategy. You have to test out multiple bet strategies multiple money management components with a bet strategy to determine what is working best. So let's get into it. I'm going to use units, not dollars. So you can multiply this times whatever your unit size is. Okay? These are units. So what we have, what we showed you before, is 1 unit is whatever your base unit is, right? Like that. So that could be $10, $20, $25, whatever your base unit is, right? And we go to 2 units if we lose. That was how we were doing it on a basic ladder. Well, now we're going to do this. We're going to introduce the concept. You still need to know what your base unit is, $5, $10, $1, whatever, okay? But now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the concept of a multiplier. So that is your base bet times whatever, right? Times whatever, all right? So, and a step amount. A step amount. But the first thing I want to do is do this. Let's introduce the basic concept. So here's what we're doing. Our first bet, whatever our bet selection tells us is our first bet, instead of betting 1 unit of the base bet, we're going to use a multiplier. So let's do a for purposes right now, we'll do a 3-bet multiplier. So our first bet is going to be 3 units instead of 1. Okay? And this is up to you. And when you watch that full video of the super ladder over here, it will introduce you exactly to these concepts. The multipliers and everything else. Okay? Right here. All right. But I want to show it to you real quickly. So for our purpose for this example, we're going to use a starting bet multiplier of 3. So if we're using $10 bets, that means we're betting $30 here. Right? Everybody get that? But we're not going to do dollars. We'll just put 3. Okay. That's our first bet, even though our unit is a $10 unit. Do not get that confused. If we were to lose our super bet or our multiplier bet, what would we do next? We would now in the basic function, we would still use the $10 base bet. And now our next bet level would be 4 units. We're not going up. We're not going up $30 and buy another $30. This bet would be $30 and this bet is $40. Okay, let's make sure everybody understands this. This is the multiplier of your base bet. So 3 times 10 is a $30 bet. We lost. We lost this bet, right? We're not doubling. We're not doing anything like that. We're now getting into more of the ladder approach that we showed you. So in this scenario, we're going up 1 unit, which is still $10 units. So now the next bet is $40. Okay? And if we lost this, we're going to go up another unit, and the next bet is $5. Now, let's talk about what the heck is going on here. Why are we doing this? What is the story behind this? Let's say we won that bet. Okay? Let's just say we won that bet. I think you got to wrap your brain around why are we doing this? Why are we using a ladder? Now, if we won this bet, we'd already lost $70 and we won back $50. Right? We didn't get to break even yet. It's the same thing as before, where we have to make a decision. We're down 20, right? You can use common sense and you can drop back to the super bet if you wanted to. And that would then, if you won that bet, it would put you back up 1. Right? Yeah, you're out down 20. Yes, it would put you up 1 unit if you drop back from this to this. Or you drop down 1 unit on the ladder to the 40. And you play it the straight way and you do the ladder. Now, what are we doing here? What we're doing here is this. This is the reason for this happening and the super ladder concept. If you have a really good bet selection, for whatever it is, baccarat, roulette, whatever it is that you're doing even money bets, and you do your homework and your evaluation and your testing, and you were to find that whatever your first bet trigger, whatever your bet trigger is, that first bet is winning at a decent clip. Remember what I said at the beginning of this video. We are looking for reasonable profit targets. 3 to 6 units. Something like that. Speaking in a general way. Instead of making 1 unit here, like most situations, you're coming out with your first unit bet. The super ladder takes advantage of that winning percentage and bets a multiplier of 3 here. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Because if we win here, we're already up 3 units. And we were only looking to make, what did I say at the beginning? 5 units. So sometimes, oh, and by the way, when we win this, the next trigger we have, whatever that is in the bet selection, we're starting again from our super multiplier bet, whatever this multiplier is. So you're doing another 3-unit bet. So we do the next bet comes up, we win again, and we win another 3 units. So what did we do? That's all we did was win 2 bets. This could be a minute at the table. It could be 10 minutes, whatever it may be. I don't know what your trigger is for your bet selection at the moment, right? We're only talking about money, about money management. In 2 consecutive bets, we made a total of 6 units. We're done. If we were looking to make 5 units, we're done. In the regular other approach, we'd be making 1 unit and 1 unit. Now, I'm not saying this is better. I'm telling you this is one of the tricks in our bag that we employ with certain bet selections. Okay? This is called the super ladder. Now, I'm going to end this one here because I want to introduce something else in this video. Now, the only thing I want to leave you with, you've got to watch that super ladder video. It's a full going in great detail with this. This multiplier bet, I use 3. You're going to see in that video and a discussion, and we've done massive analysis on this subject with different bet selections. Normally, with computer analysis using this concept, it usually is a 5 multiplier or a 7 multiplier or an 8 multiplier. These are the numbers that I have found work best. Now this requires a little more bankroll, because what happens if you actually do start with a losing scenario here? Right? Now, the combination of whatever your starting bet is to the multiplier is part of the formula, right? That you have to test. So let's use a 5. And let's again use our $10 base bet. So this is a $50 bet, right? That's a 50. And then the next one, if we're using a $10, it's a 6. And that's going to go to $60. Okay, like that. All right. Now, this is very flexible. That video is going to go into more detail right here on the super ladder type concept. All right. The reason I'm showing you this is because I'm trying to start introducing money management concepts that your brain is now going to work, that there's many different ways to manipulate the bets, manipulate the money. Okay, that's what we're doing. Whether we're doubling up, whether we're going up by a unit, using a super ladder, or many other approaches, the people that have been watching this channel for the last 2 years, especially the last 4 months, know that we have another system that we call the faction system. It is one of my favorite money managements, and it has turned out that it works with almost every different game and is flexible. But that's an advanced structure. We'll show you that on another video, the faction system. And you will see that being used on this channel. If you go back over the last few months, you'll see us use variations of that. All right. So that is the basics for the super ladder. Now, I'm going to do a bonus. Nobody but lifetime members of our former website, Cruise Casino Mafia, have ever seen this. It's time for the world to see this. This is known as the Axis, A-X-I-S, Axis Money Management Concept. This is a visual concept. Visual. So it's a roadmap. It's a roadmap concept. Going down is what you do after a win. Going to the right on the axis, this is an access point, right? This corner, the top, this is where you start your axis. And if you lose, you follow the directions to the right. And if you win, you follow your directions down. So these are some of the original axis point diagrams for this version of money management. These are all different. Some are more aggressive and some are more conservative. So you can take a picture of this screen, stop the video if you want, take a picture of the screen, and you can figure out which ones of these may work for you. Now again, this is another even money bet concept. So this is not meant for most of the crap stuff. This is meant for banker player, baccarat. This is meant for red black, even odd, high low. This is not meant for inside bets in roulette or anything like that. Okay? So this is how it works. Let's look at the basic one here, the most basic version. You start at the access point of the yellow. This is like the game of life or Monopoly or whatever. You're starting on the board game here. And you're betting 2 units on this one. So again, there's a multiplier in some of these. See, some of these start with a 1. But in the ones that start with anything other than a 1, it has a super ladder type of concept to it. But it's a visual super ladder type concept. Okay? It's not really as much of a super ladder because none of these are above a 2-unit starting bet. But it has a little bit of that feeling, right? But there's some nuances and differences, and I'm going to explain them. So let's go right into it. So on this first one, you're making a 2-unit bet. So again, if we use our hypothetical $10, this is a $20 bet. Using whatever bet selection that you've used, that you're using, whatever it may be. Follow the last, opposite of the last, or any of the 50 million bet selections that we show our people, right? You bet 2 units. If you win, you go down. You're betting 1 unit. See how you're not putting both at risk. You won 2, you're only betting 1. If you win, that's the end of the sequence. The sequence ends. And you're either done with your session, right? Because you would have made 3 units. If that's what you were shooting for, your mini session is over. So this is basically like a mini session or a mini game within your session. You won 3 units here. You're either done for the day or you're going to play another mini session, right? What happens if you lost your first axis bet? You move to the right. That's the way the game is played here. And the next bet is a 3-unit bet. Right? What happens if you win? Well, you won 1 unit. So the way that we do this is we restart the mini game. So it's different than the super ladder going up and down. I play this as a win is a reset to protect my bankroll. So if I won here, I'd be up 1 unit. But what happens if I lost this bet? I'm down 5 units now, right? So I move to the right because I lost, and there's a 4-unit bet. If I win this 4-unit bet, I'm still down 1 unit. Guess what? Conservative. If I'm using these, I usually end, that's the end of the game, the mini game. And it means that I'm down 1 unit. Big deal. I restart, if I'm going to keep playing, a new mini game, and I start over with the 2. So, as opposed to the super ladder or the basic ladder, that it only ends when you want to stop, I use this as a open and shut case. Whether I'm up a unit, 3 units, whether I'm up 1 unit, or in this case, whether I'm down 1 unit. It's a restart. So now you're going to get to see the differences between the different access games that you can play. This one is a little different, right? It starts with a 2-unit bet. It's the same on the plus side, so when we win, we still go to the 1 and we're done with the mini game. But look at the difference on the setup of this one for the loss. Look how this is slowed up even more conservative. So you can pick ones that are more conservative. You lose 2 units, you go to the right. You bet 2 units. If you win, it's a break even for this mini game, and you start over. You didn't make any money. Who cares? It's about safety of your bankroll. If you lose this bet, you're down 4 units, but you're only making a 3-unit bet here. So you would still be down 1 unit if you won here. But the difference is, if you lost all 3, you'd be down 4 and 3. You'd be down 7 units for this mini game. Not 10, not 15, not 20. You'd only be down 7 units for this mini game. And that keeps you close to break even for the next mini game. The moral of the story is keep as close as you can to break even. The farther you force yourself by being aggressive, the harder it is to get out of the hole. And that's the problem with martingale and all the other crap, right? So this is very conservative. Do you have a lot of break-even situations? Yeah, who cares? Who cares? So let's take a look at another one. Let's just randomly pick one. Let's pick this one. We're starting at a 2-unit bet at our access point here. Again, if we win, it's the same as the 2 I showed you. We're only going to make 1 more bet of 1 unit, and the mini game is over. But what happens on the losing side of this one? We made a 2-unit bet. We lost. We don't even try to make it up. We're only making a 1-unit bet on the next bet. If we win on this one, we're down 1 unit in the mini game. And we're going to reset. Because a win has us reset. That's the way I play these. A win is a reset. But if we lose here, we're down 3. And look what our next bet is, 3. We don't make any money here. But it brings us back to break even for our next mini game. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. We don't force the profit is the point. If you lose 3 bets here, what are you down? 6 units, that's it. What were you down on the martingale in 3 bets? 10, 20, 40, 60, 77 units you were down. I mean, 70, yeah. 10, 20, that's 30, and another 40. So do you understand the differences, what we're trying to do with conservative money management? If you don't have the patience, I can't help you. But if you don't have the patience, then you're not going to do this as a business anyway. You're simply going to be Joe Gambler, or as I like to say, Joe Donator. And I can't help you anyway. So understand, look at the differences here. See, here's an aggressive one. But look how it starts, though. It's interesting. This one, well, let's do this one first, because it's the same type, but it's slightly less aggressive. So this one is starting with a 1 unit bet instead of the 2. And if you win, look, it's flip-flopped. See? Now you're willing to parlay your win. Parlay your win. Because when you parlay it here, if you win the second one, you just won 3 units. And that may be all you need for the day if you're at the $100 level, the $50 level. Maybe you've worked your bankroll up. This is it. This may be it for the day. Goodbye. Go get a coffee and go home. Or go to lunch and come back and play one more session. Now, what happens if you lost? This one is a little more aggressive than the others. We lost 1 unit on our first bet. We do the 1 unit double like we did with the ladder. We're going up 1 unit with the super ladder and the ladder. We're going up 1 unit, so we're doing a 2 unit bet. If we win, we're up 1 unit, and that's the end of the mini game. What if we lose? Well, instead of trying to break even like we did on this one, or this one, on this one, we're trying to make money. We're willing to take the extra risk. So we're down 3 units, and we're making a 4 unit bet. So when we win this bet, we're making 1 unit and the mini session is over. If we lose, we're willing to be down 7 units here. Right? 7 units. Now, the more aggressive one, let's take a look at just a couple more. Look at this version of it. Look at the aggressiveness behind this version. We're starting with 1 unit. We win, the mini session's over, we're done for the day, we're done for the session, or we restart. But look at this. Look at how aggressive this one is. If you win here, oh, and I should have said that, by the way. It's up to you. We play out on the first win, and I didn't say that. On the first win, obviously it's optional. But the reason we have something here is because the way that the axis is set up is that on a winning side, you are playing the second bet. But on the losing side, we're stopping after a win. So I didn't say that, and I should have, right? So when you win, you're willing to do the second drop down bet. But when you don't win, the first win along the way here is the end of the mini game. So I apologize if you guys didn't get that. So let's look at this more aggressive one. It's a 1 unit bet. But look at this parlay. We only won 1 unit, but we're making a 3 unit bet to back on the next one. That's pretty crazy, right? But on the losing side, if we make our 1 unit bet and we lose, look at how aggressive this is. It's a 1-3-5. We're betting 3 units because if we win here, we're going to be up 2 units and we're done with the mini game. But what if we lose? We're down 4 units. And because this is an aggressive one, we're going to be betting 5. This one, you could be down up to 9 units in this mini game. But the variety here is what I'm trying to show you. You need to find the one that makes sense for you. Okay? And there are times that I don't do the multiplier, the extra bet, the green bet. You know, the second down bet. This is all flexible, just like the ladder. It depends on where you are for the session, right? Maybe you only needed the 2 units or the 1 unit, and you were happy and you were done for the day. Is there any need for you to do the drop-down parlay style bet? No. No one's forcing you to do that. But if it's the beginning of the day, and you want to get out and you want to get that jump start and be done for the day and make a dent in what you're looking to do, then you do the parlay bet. And if you lose the parlay bet, it's a restart anyway, right? It's a restart. Now these are different. These are a little different because this has a third bet. And you can test these because this adds in the extra element of an additional parlay bet on the winning side. And these are fascinating, by the way, to test out with different things. So let's take a look at this one, and then we're going to wrap it up. This one starts with a 1 unit bet, and it has the regular ladder on the negative side, on the losing side, on the top of the L. You lose, you bet 2. You lose, you bet 3. If you lost all 3, you're down 6 units, right? But on the winning side of the L, or the axis point, we won 1, we bet 2. We won. We're up 3 units. We're betting 2 of the 3 units because we're willing to take that shot. Because if we win these 3, we're up 5 units. And that may be the whole day. Our day may be finished right here, depending on what you're looking to do. Okay? This one is a completely different approach. This only has 2 steps on the negative side. So it caps your loss on the negative side. I mean, they all cap your loss on the negative side, but this is a tight cap. Look at this L. You lost 1. You bet 2. You win 1 for the sequence. You lose, the sequence is over, but you're only down -3. So this is as close to flat betting as you can get. It's a 1-2. It's a 1-2. On the winning side, though, look what it does on the winning side. If you have a bet selection that wins more often than it loses, quite a bit more often, look what this does. You won 1, you parlayed and bet 2, you're up 3 units now. And you're going to parlay all of it into this bet right here. Because if you win these 3, you're up 6 units. You see that? So these are the different variations of closed-end money management. That's what I want you to take away. Closed-end money management. Not an ongoing double. This is one version of a closed-end money management. These are mini games that you play that you know exactly how much you're going to win if you play it out. And if you lose all 3 or 2, exactly how many units you're going to be down for the mini session. So I wanted to introduce a closed-end money management system to you at the same time as introducing you to the basic ladder that we showed in the last video, and now the super ladder multiplier concept as well. So please go back and watch the super ladder video on the website, and guess what's over here? Another video where I go over the Access money management concept for Baccarat. And I combine what I just showed you by playing Baccarat. Just to give you an example here. Okay? So these are two videos that are available now to students right on the website. So go to the website, Casino Income Academy. Make sure that you sign up for free so that you get some of the private stuff that we're going to be pushing out that is not just going to be on the YouTube channel. And then do not forget to follow us on our brand new Instagram account. It's not the old one. It's under Casino Income Academy. Click here, you can see it. And our brand new TikTok, which we never had before, where we're going to be showing live little snippets and videos and lots of great tips. So that's it for now. That is part 2 of the ladder and introduction for the Access money management. Go ahead and watch those other 2 videos, take notes, and start digging deep into understanding that 85% of winning comes from money management, not the crystal ball. You got it. We'll see you on the next video. Like and subscribe to the video. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.